Wake up. Did you hear what I just said? Wake up, because average is killing you and you don't even know it. Listen to me. Average will never pay the bills. Not in 2025. Not now. Not ever again. The world is too expensive, too fast, too competitive for you to live at the level of average. Maybe 20 years ago, average could carry you. Maybe back then, you could punch a clock, do just enough, and still buy a house, raise a family, and have a little left over. But those days, they're gone. The rules have changed. The game has changed. And if you don't change with it, you're going to be left behind. Do you realize how dangerous average has become in today's world? Let me give you some numbers. Right now, over 47% of jobs are at risk of automation. Machines are replacing cashiers, clerks, truck drivers, and even office jobs. Robots don't get tired. AI doesn't call in sick. Automation doesn't complain about overtime. And do you know who the first ones being replaced are? Average workers. The people who do just enough. The ones who bring nothing extra. The ones who never upgrade their skills. Listen carefully. In 2025, average is replaceable. Average is expendable. Average is disposable. Look at the cost of living. Inflation has been eating away at paychecks. Groceries are up. Rent is up. Gas is up. Utility bills are up. A recent report showed that 61% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. That means even people with average jobs, average salaries, average lifestyles can't breathe financially. Average isn't survival anymore. It's drowning. And yet people defend average. They say, at least I'm doing something. They say, I'm not doing bad. They say, I'm okay. No, you're not okay. Being okay in 2025 means being behind. Being okay means struggling. Being okay means barely covering your bills while life gets more expensive every single day. Let me tell you something. Average will keep you broke. Average will keep you stressed. Average will keep you tired, frustrated, and stuck in the same cycle. And it's not just about money. Average will break your dreams. Average effort won't build your business. Average focus won't get you a degree. Average discipline won't transform your body. Average faith won't get you through life's storms. Listen to me. Average is the silent killer. It doesn't take you out all at once. It just drains you slowly. One missed opportunity here. One wasted year there. One dream shelled, one excuse made. Until one day you look back and you realize life passed you by while you settled for average. And don't think I'm just yelling for no reason. I've seen this play out too many times. People with talent, people with potential, people with gifts, they had everything inside them to win, but they chose average. They got comfortable. They got lazy. They thought they had time. And now their bills are bigger than their dreams. Their stress is heavier than their hope. Their regrets are louder than their ambitions. That's why I'm in your ear right now, to shake you awake. Because if you don't recognize the danger of average, you'll keep living in it. Let me give you a picture. Imagine two people, same age, same background, same job. One decides to live average, wake up late, coast through work, watch Netflix, spend money on things that don't matter. The other decides to rise above average, wake up early, build new skills, save, invest, grind. 5 years later, the first person is still broke, still stressed, still stuck. The second, they've doubled their income, built savings, maybe started a business, and created opportunities for their family. Same starting line, different choices. One chose average, one chose greatness. And here's the kicker, you've got the same choice. Let me ask you this. Do you want to be remembered as someone who almost made it? Someone who had potential? Someone who did enough to get by? Or do you want to be remembered as someone who refused average, who broke the mold, who created something extraordinary? Because let me tell you, history doesn't remember average. Nobody writes books about the person who did just enough. Nobody makes movies about the person who coasted. Nobody's inspired by fine. We remember the greats, the ones who refused average, the ones who decided, I will not live small. I will not settle. I will not be another statistic. And here's where it gets real. Some of you right now are living average because you think you have no choice. You're telling yourself, I wasn't born rich. I didn't have connections. I didn't go to the best school. Let me break that lie. Average is not about where you start. It's about what you accept. There are people who started with nothing, worse conditions than you, but they refused to stay average. And now they're living their dreams. And there are people who had everything handed to them, good schools, good families, good opportunities, but because they chose average, they lost it all. So no, it's not about your background. It's about your mindset. And don't get it twisted. I'm not saying you've got to be perfect. I'm not saying you'll never fail. I'm saying you can't settle. I'm saying you can't stop. I'm saying you've got to give more, push harder, and refuse to die average. So let me stop and ask you, are you living average right now? Are you settling? Are you coasting? Are you giving just enough to get by? Because if you are, you're already losing. The good news, you can change right here, right now. Average is a choice, and so is greatness. You can choose today to raise your standard. You can choose today to stop giving average effort. You can choose today to refuse average results. Because if you don't, I promise you, the bills will keep stacking, the stress will keep growing, and the world will keep moving without you. But if you do, if you decide today that average is no longer an option, then you'll start building momentum. You'll start separating yourself. You'll start living at a level where your bills are paid, your dreams are alive, and your future is secure. Average will never pay the bills, not in 25, not in this life. So wake up, get serious, because this is not a game, it's your life. And if you don't take it seriously, nobody else will. So now you know, average is dangerous. Average will never pay the bills. But the question is, what do you do about it? If average won't cut it, what will? Let me tell you, the only answer is grind. The only answer is to raise your standard. The only answer is to decide that good enough is not good enough for you anymore. See, everybody wants success. Everybody wants freedom. Everybody wants greatness. But only a few are willing to grind for it. That's why there are millions of people struggling and only a small percentage thriving, because thriving requires a mindset that refuses to settle. Thriving requires the grind. Let me break this down. The grind mindset is not about working mindlessly or burning yourself out. It's about being disciplined. It's about being intentional. It's about pushing yourself beyond the comfort zone every single day. Most people live by feelings. If they feel tired, they sleep in. If they feel bored, they quit. If they feel uncomfortable, they stop. But people who grind, they live by standards. They live by discipline. They do it whether they feel like it or not. Think about it. The average person wakes up at the last minute, rushes to work, complains all day, comes home, scrolls social media for hours, maybe watches Netflix, then goes to sleep. And then they wonder why their life looks the same every year. Now compare that to someone with the grind mindset. They wake up early. They start the day with a goal. They read, they study, they plan. They put in focused work, not just busy work. They train their body. They feed their mind. They guard their time. And they repeat it every single day. That's the grind. And here's the truth. Success is not built on one big moment. It's built on thousands of small, consistent, disciplined decisions. You don't get fit by going to the gym once. You don't get rich by working hard 1 week. You don't build legacy by giving effort once in a while. You build it by grinding day after day, week after week, year after year. Let me hit you with some data. Do you know that the average CEO reads about 60 books a year? That's more than one a week. Why? Because they know knowledge compounds. Meanwhile, the average person reads less than one book a year after college. And they wonder why they're stuck. Do you know the difference between someone who earns minimum wage and someone who earns 6 figures? It's not just opportunity, it's skills. According to labor market research, people who invest in high-income skills, coding, sales, leadership, public speaking, content creation, are in demand everywhere. The grind mindset says, I'm not going to wait for opportunity. I'm going to prepare myself so when opportunity shows up, I'm ready. And don't tell me you don't have time. The average person spends 20 hours a week watching TV or streaming shows. They spend 2.5 hours a day on social media. That's 38 days a year scrolling, liking, and watching someone else live their dream. Imagine what you could do with that time if you decided to grind. Let me make it plain: average wastes time. The grind multiplies time. Let me give you some examples. Kobe Bryant was famous for being in the gym at 4 a.m. He didn't just want to be good. He wanted to be legendary. He said, while you're sleeping, I'm working. While you're eating, I'm working. While you're playing, I'm working. That's the grind mindset. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson built one of the greatest careers in wrestling, then went on to dominate Hollywood, then launched businesses. Why? Because he wakes up at 4 a.m., trains for hours, and outworks almost everybody in his industry. Look at Elon Musk. Whether you like him or not, the man works 80 to 100 hours a week building rockets, cars, AI, solar technology. While most people are looking for work-life balance, he's grinding so hard that balance is not even in his vocabulary. Now, you may not want to be Kobe. You may not want to be Elon. You may not want to be The Rock. And that's fine. But you can learn from their mindset. You can learn that the difference between average and great is not luck, not talent. It's grind. But here's the catch. Grinding doesn't mean running around aimlessly. It's not just do more. It's about doing what matters. You can work hard on the wrong things and still fail. The grind mindset is about working smart and hard. So what does that look like in your life? Let me give you some steps. Step 1, set higher standards. Stop comparing yourself to average people. Stop saying, at least I'm not as bad as them. No, compare yourself to the best version of you. What's your potential? What's your capacity? That's the standard. Step 2, I master your time. Time is the currency of greatness. Average people waste it. Grinders invest it. Schedule your days. Cut out distractions. Replace scrolling with studying. Replace complaining with creating. Step 3, build habits, not hype. Hype will get you excited for a moment. Habits will carry you for a lifetime. Wake up at the same time. Read daily, work out, write goals, review progress. Make it a system. Step 4, a push through pain. Average people quit when it hurts. Grinders push when it hurts. Pain is not a sign you're failing. It's a sign you're growing. Every rep, every late night, every sacrifice is building you into someone stronger. Step 5B, be consistent. Consistency beats intensity. It's not what you do once that matters. It's what you do daily. The grind mindset says, I'd rather be consistently good every day than occasionally great once in a while. Now let me challenge you. For the next 30 days, I want you to act like average is poison, because it is. I want you to wake up 1 hour earlier than usual. I want you to spend that hour grinding toward your dream. Read, write, build, learn, exercise, whatever it is, grind. Do it for 30 days straight and watch how your life begins to shift. And don't get discouraged if the results don't show up right away. Seeds don't sprout the same day you plant them. But if you water them daily, if you grind daily, eventually the harvest will come. See, the grind mindset is not about short-term gratification. It's about long-term transformation. Average lives for comfort today. Grinders sacrifice comfort today for freedom tomorrow. Let me tell you something real. You will never regret grinding. You will never look back and say, I wish I hadn't worked so hard on my dreams. But you will regret being average. You will regret not trying. You will regret not pushing. And the grind is not just about money. It's about respect. It's about health. It's about relationships. It's about building a life that you can be proud of. Average people lose marriages because they don't grind for love and growth. Average people lose health because they don't grind in the gym and the kitchen. Average people lose respect because they don't grind for integrity and excellence. But grinders, they build, they improve, they grow, and the world can't ignore them. So here's the bottom line. Average will never pay the bills. The grind will. Average will never build your future. The grind will. Average will never create legacy. The grind will. So I need you to decide. Are you going to keep living average, or are you going to embrace the grind mindset? Because the grind is the only way out. The grind is the only way up. The grind is the only way forward. And if you don't grind, you don't get, period. We've talked about why average is dangerous. We've talked about the grind mindset. But let me tell you something. It's not just about surviving today. It's about building a future. Because average doesn't just fail to pay today's bills. It robs your tomorrow. And the grind is not just about hustle. It's about building something that will outlast you. See, too many people live paycheck to paycheck, not just with money, but with life. They live for the weekend. They live for the next distraction. They live for the next little escape. That's survival mode. That's average. And survival mode is exhausting. It keeps you running, but you never arrive. But legacy, that's different. Legacy means you built something that keeps working after you stop. Legacy means your children don't start from zero. Legacy means your name carries weight long after you're gone. Let's get real. According to the Federal Reserve, nearly 40% of Americans don't have $400 saved for an emergency. That's survival. That's average. And when the emergency comes, and it will come, they fall apart. Why? Because they never built a foundation. But do you know what wealthy families do? They plan 3 generations ahead. They buy assets, not just things. They invest, not just spend. They pass on wisdom, not just money. That's legacy. And it's not just about money. Legacy is about impact. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. didn't just fight for his own comfort. He fought for generations. Nelson Mandela didn't just grind for his own freedom. He ground for his people. Steve Jobs didn't just build gadgets. He built a vision that still shapes the world. That's legacy. So let me ask you, what are you building? Are you just paying bills, or are you building wealth? Are you just surviving the day, or are you setting up tomorrow? Are you just living for yourself, or are you creating something bigger? Because average people think only about today. Extraordinary people think about tomorrow. Legends think about forever. And don't get it twisted. Legacy is not just for billionaires and celebrities. Legacy is for everybody. You can leave a legacy in your family, in your community, in your work. You can change the game for the people who come after you. But you can't do it with an average mindset. You can't do it living in survival mode. You can't do it settling for less. Let's talk about how you build it. Step 1T, secure your foundation. You can't build legacy if you're drowning in debt, if you're always broke, if you're always one emergency away from disaster. That's why grinding today matters. Pay off debt, save, build skills, increase income, stabilize your life so you can build on solid ground. Step 2, invest in growth. Average people spend, grinders invest. Every book you read, every course you take, every mentor you learn from, that's an investment. Every dollar you put in assets instead of liabilities, that's an investment. Every hour you spend building instead of wasting, that's an investment. Step 3, multiply your efforts. Don't just work harder, work smarter. Build systems. Automate what you can. Teach others. Delegate. Create income streams that don't require your constant presence. That's how you move from grinding for survival to grinding for legacy. Step 4, give back. Legacy is not just about what you take, it's about what you give. Mentor someone. Teach your kids. Serve your community. Build something that lifts others. Because the truth is, people will forget what you bought, but they will never forget who you helped. Step 5, keep the vision alive. Legacy requires vision. Write it down. Share it. Live it daily. Let people see your standard. Let them catch your fire. Because legacy is contagious. It spreads when people see you grinding with purpose. Now let me challenge you with something powerful. What if you decided today that your life will not end with just you pails? What if you decided that your life will be bigger than your job, bigger than your struggles, bigger than your limitations? What if you decided that you're going to break generational curses in your family? That you're going to be the first to graduate, the first to build a business, the first to invest, the first to leave wealth behind? What if you decided that average stops with you? Because somebody has to break the cycle. Somebody has to step up. Somebody has to grind, not just for themselves, but for the people who will come after them. Let me remind you of something. You don't need permission to be great. You don't need approval to build legacy. You don't need to wait for perfect timing. All you need is a decision. One decision. That average is no longer an option. One decision that you will grind until your future is secured. One decision that you will build legacy. Think about your last name for a second. What does it mean right now? Does it carry weight or is it forgotten? Now imagine 5 generations from now, your great, great, great grandchildren. Will they know your name? Will they thank you? Will they say, because of them, we are here. Because of them, we are strong. Because of them, we are free. Or will they say, they were average. They left us nothing. We had to start from zero again. That's the choice. That's the challenge. And I know what some of you are thinking, but I don't have resources. I don't have money. I don't have connections. Let me tell you something. You don't need to start with everything. You just need to start with something. You don't need to be rich to leave a legacy. You just need to grind. Start small. Save 5. Read 1 book. Teach 1 lesson. Build 1 habit. And then do it again and again and again. Legacy is not built overnight. It's built brick by brick, decision by decision, grind by grind. And don't forget, your legacy is also about how you live, not just what you leave. Integrity is legacy. Discipline is legacy. Character is legacy. The way you love, the way you treat people, the way you handle adversity, that's legacy too. So I need you to wake up. Wake up to the reality that average is stealing your future. Wake up to the reality that grind builds greatness. Wake up to the truth that you have the power to change your life and the lives of everyone connected to you. And once you wake up, I need you to move. Don't wait. Don't delay. Don't procrastinate. Grind now. Build now. Plant now. Because tomorrow's harvest depends on today's grind. So let's wrap it up with this: average will never pay the bills. Average will never build wealth. Average will never leave legacy. But the grind pays. The grind builds, the grind creates, the grind transforms. So stop surviving. Start building. Stop settling. Start grinding. Stop playing small. Start leaving legacy. Because at the end of the day, average dies forgotten. But grinders, they live forever.